Federal referendums are scheduled to be held in Switzerland on the 7th of March, the 13th of June, the 26th of September and the 28th of November 2021. 3 referendums were held in March. One on a popular initiative, yes to a ban on full facial coverings. One on the Federal Act on Electronic Identification Services. And one on the Economic Partnership Agreement with Indonesia. Switzerland voted on a referendum that would prohibit covering one's face in public spaces. And would outlaw anyone from forcing another to cover their face. It would apply to all public spaces including the street, public transport, restaurants and shops. It was proposed by the Egakungan Committee, which also sponsored the referendum to ban minaret construction. The referendum is supported by the Swiss People's Party and the Federal Democratic Union of Switzerland. It is opposed by the Green Party of Switzerland, Green Liberal Party of Switzerland, Social Democratic Party of Switzerland, the Centre and FDP. The Liberals. 2 cantons, Ticino and Saint Gallen, have instituted bans on face coverings, while 3 have rejected such bans. Proponents argue that the ban will enhance security as it will help identify criminals who cover their faces in public. They also argue that women's rights will be enhanced as no one can be forced to wear veils. Opponents argue that the ban is inconsistent with people's constitutional rights and that women who are no longer permitted to veil in public might withdraw from society. Also, the opponents have asserted that, under current law, no one can be forced to wear a burqa, and that anyone forcing someone to do so can be punished. The Federal Council expressed opposition to the referendum as infringing the rights of the cantons, and that it would harm tourism. There are approximately 400,000 Muslims living in Switzerland. However, the Federal Council estimated that fewer than 100 women in the country employ full face coverings, and the ban has little practical effect. To address some of the proponents' concerns, the Parliament of Switzerland passed a law that would take effect if the referendum fails that would require anyone with a face covering to show their faces if requested by authorities for identification. An opinion poll published in January 2021 showed 63% of voters in favor of the proposed ban on full facial covering, also referred to as a burqa ban. The referendum would establish a federal AID commission that would oversee issuance of a nationwide electronic ID to residents. The new AID could be used on the internet to order goods and services, open bank accounts or request official documents. The law is supported by the Federal Council and the Parliament. The AIDs would be issued initially by the Swiss Sign Group, which operates Swiss ID. This group includes Swiss Post, Swiss Federal Railways, Swisscom and banks and insurance companies. The Federal Commission would supervise the system and ensure compliance with regulations. Proponents argue that this could consolidate the means of identification used online into a single secure login. It would ultimately be scaled into additional online activities. Also, by establishing state control of the system, proponents believe that the system would be more secure. Opponents believe that the system of issuance through banks and insurance companies could compromise data security and that the IDs could be used by the companies for private gain. The opponents believe that the state should issue the IDs itself. The political parties in support include the Centre, FDP, the Liberals, the Swiss People's Party and the Evangelical People's Party of Switzerland. Opposing parties include the Green Party of Switzerland, Green Liberal Party of Switzerland, Social Democratic Party of Switzerland and Federal Democratic Union of Switzerland. In 2018, the European Free Trade Association concluded a free trade agreement with Indonesia. In 2020, opponents of the agreement filed 60,000 signatures to bring the agreement before a popular vote. This is only the second time in 50 years that a free trade agreement has been subjected to a referendum. The agreement will reduce most customs duties for products exported from Switzerland to Indonesia, while eliminating tariffs on industrial products imported to Switzerland. Tariffs on palm oil would be reduced by 20 to 40% up to a maximum quota of 12,500 tons. There would also be sustainability requirements around the import of palm oil. Companies would have to certify that they have not engaged in deforestation in the production of palm oil. In the event of violations, Switzerland could reverse the tariff reductions. Proponents argue that the agreement will enhance trade for Switzerland while imposing requirements on human rights. rainforests and sustainable palm oil production. Opponents have pointed out that palm oil production is damaging to the environment and harms local farmers. In addition, they are concerned that cheaper palm oil would